good faith.
Oh, a pair of stocks, you rogue!
You are baggage. The Slys are no rogues.
You will not pay for the glasses, you burst.
Not a denier. Go by Saint Geronimini. Go to thy cold bed and warm thee.
I know my remedy. I must go fetch the third borough.
Oh, third or fourth or fifth borough, I'll answer him by law. I'll not budge an inch, boy. Let him come. And finally,
Hey, huntsman, I charge thee. Tend well my hounds. Tomorrow I intend to hunt again.
I will, my lord.
What's here? Oof, one dead or drunk? See, doth he breathe? Oh, monstrous beast, how like a swine he lies. Grim death, how foul and loathsome is thine image. Sir, I will practice on this drunken man. What think you, if he were conveyed to bed, wrapped in sweet clothes, rings put on his fingers, a most delicious banquet by his bed, and brave attendants near him when he wakes, would not the beggar then forget himself?
It would seem strange unto him when he waked.
Carry him gently to my fairest chamber, and hang it round with all my wanton pictures. Balm his foul head with warm and distilled waters, and burn sweet wood to make the lodging sweet. Procure me music ready when he wakes, and make a dulcet and heavenly sound. And if he chance to speak, be ready straight, and with low submissive reverence say, what is your honor will command? Let one attend him with a silver basin full of rose water and bestrewed with flowers, and another bear the ewer, the third a diaper, and say, "Wilt please your lordship to cool your hands?" Someone be ready with a costly suit, and ask him with what apparel he'll wear. Another tell him of his hounds and horse, and that his lady mourns at his disease. Persuade him that he hath been lunatic. And when he says he is, say that he dreams, for he's nothing but a mighty lord. This do, and do it kindly, gentle sirs. It will be pastime passing excellent, if it be husbanded with modesty.
My lord, I warrant you, we will play our part, as he shall think by our true diligence. He is no less than what we say he is.
Take him up gently, and to bed with him, and each one to his office when he wakes. And now, who is it?
And please, your honour, players that offer service to your lordship.
Now, fellows, you're welcome.
We thank your honour.
Do you intend to stay with me tonight?
So please your lordship to accept our duty.
Well, you are come to me in happy time, the rather for I have some sport in hand, wherein your cunning can assist me much. There's a lord will hear you play tonight, but I'm doubtful of your modesties, least over-eyeing of his odd behavior, for yet his honour never heard a play. You break into some merry passion, and so offend him, for I tell you, sirs, if you should smile, he grows impatient.
Fear not, my lord, we can contain ourselves were he the veriest antic in the world.
Zerat, go you to Bartholomew my page, and see him dressed in all suits like a lady. That done, conduct him to the drunkard's chamber, and call him madam. Do him obeisance. Tell him he from me, as he will win my love. He bear himself with honorable action, such as he hath observed in noble ladies unto their lords, by them accomplished. Such duty to the drunkard let him do with soft low tongue and lowly courtesy, and say, what is your honor will command, wherein your lady, your humble wife, may show her duty and make known her love, and then with kind embracements, tempting kisses, and with declining head into his bosom, bid him shed tears, as being overjoyed to see her noble lord restored to health, who for his 7 years hath esteemed him no better than a poor and loathsome beggar. See this dispatch with all the haste thou canst. Anon, I'll give thee more instructions.
Oh, for God's sake, do a pot of small ale.
Will please your lord drink a cup of sack?
Will please your honor taste of these conserves?
What raiment will your honor wear today?
I'm Christopher Sly. Call not you me honor nor lordship. I never drank sack in my life. And if you give me any conserve, give me conserves of beef. Never ask me what raiment I'll wear. I have no more doublets and backs. No more stockings than legs, no more shoes than feet. Nay, sometimes I have more feet than shoes, or such shoes as my toes look out through the overleather.
Heaven ceases idle humor in your honor. Oh, that a mighty man of such descent, of such possessions, and so high esteem should be infused with so foul a spirit.
Oh, would you make me mad? Am not I Christopher Sly, old Sly's son of Burton Heath, by birth a peddler, by education a card maker, by transmutation a beer herd, and now by present profession a tinker? Ask Marion Hackett, that fat alewife of Wincott. Score me up for the lyingest knave in Christendom. Well, I'm not bestraught.
Oh, noble lord, bethink thee of thy birth. Call home thy ancient thoughts from banishment, and banish hence these abject lowly dreams. Look how thy servants do attend on thee, each in his office, ready at thy beck. Thou art a lord, and nothing but a lord. Thou hast a lady fair, more beautiful than any woman in this waning age.
Am I a lord, and have I such a lady? Or do I dream? Or have I dreamed till now? I do not sleep. I see, I hear, I speak, I smell, oh, sweet, sweet savors. And I feel these soft things. Upon my life, I am a lord indeed, and not a tinker, nor Christopher Sly. Well, bring our lady hither to our sight. And once again, just a pot of the smallest ale.
How fares my noble lord?
Mary, a farewell for... Oh, here's cheer enough. Where's my wife?
Here, noble lord, what is thy will with her?
Are you my wife? And will not call me husband. When my men should call me lord, I'm your good man.
My husband and my lord and my husband, I am your wife in all obedience.
I know it well. What must I call her?
Madam, and nothing else. So lords call ladies.
Madam wife. They say that I have dreamed and slept above some 15 year or more.
Aye, and the time seems 30 unto me, being all this time abandoned from your bed.
Oh, 'tis much. Servants, leave me, and her alone. Madam, undress you, and come now to bed.
Thrice, noble lord, let me entreat of you to pardon me yet for a night or two, or if not so, until the sun be set. For your physicians have expressly charged in peril to incur your former malady, that I should yet absent be from your bed. I hope this reason stands for my excuse.
Aye, it stands, so that I may hardly tarry so long. But I would be loath to fall into my dreams again. Oh, I will therefore tarry, in spite of the flesh and the blood.
Your honour's play is hearing your amendment, are come to play a pleasant comedy, and frame your mind to mirth and merriment, which bows 1,000 harms and lengthens life.
Well, we'll see it. Come, madam wife, sit by my side, and let the world slip. We shall ne'er be younger.
Tranio, since for the great desire I had to see fair Padua, nursery of arts, I am arrived for fruitful Lombardy, the pleasant garden of great Italy, and by my father's love and leave am armed with his goodwill and thy good company. My trusty servant well approved in all, here let us breathe and haply institute a course of learning and ingenious studies. But stay a while, what company is this?
Master, some show to welcome us to town.
Gentlemen, importune me no farther, for how I firmly am resolved, you know, that is not to bestow my youngest daughter before I have a husband for the elder. If either of you both love Katerina, because I know you well and love you well, leave shall you have to court her at your pleasure.
To court her, rather. She's too rough for me. There, Hortensia, will you any wife?
I pray you, sir, is it your will to make a stale of me amongst these mates?
Mates, maid, how you mean you that? No mates for you unless you were of a gentler, milder mold.
I'faith, sir, you shall never need to fear. I wis it is not halfway to her heart. But if it were, doubt not her care should be to comb your noodle with a 3-legged stool and paint your face and use you like a fool.
From all such duels, good Lord deliver us.
And me too, good Lord.
Master, here's some good pastime toward. That wench is stark mad or wonderful forward.
But in the other silence do I see maid's mild behavior and sobriety.
Gentlemen, that I may soon make good what I've said, Bianca, get you in, and let it not displease thee, good Bianca, for I will love thee ne'er the less, my girl.
Oh, pretty Pete, it is best put finger in the eye. She knew why.
'Tis to content you in my discontent. Sir, I shall, to your pleasure, humbly I subscribe. My books and instruments shall be my company, on them to look and practice by myself.
Signor Baptista, will you be so strange? Sorry am I that our good will affects Bianca's grief.
Why will you mew her up, Signor Baptista, for this fiend of hell, and make her bear the penance of her tongue?
Gentlemen, content ye, I am resolved. Go in, Bianca. And for I know she taketh most delight in music, instruments, and poetry, schoolmasters will I keep within my house, fit to instruct her youth. If you, Hortensio, or Signor Gremio, you know any such, prefer them hither, for to cunning men I will be very kind and liberal to mine own children in good bringing up, and so farewell. Caterina, you may stay, for I have more to commune with Bianca.
Why, and I trust I may go too, may I not? What, shall I be appointed hours, as they'll be like I knew not what to take and what to leave?
You may go to the Duel's Dam. Your gifts are so good, here's none will hold you. Farewell. Yet for the love I bear my sweet Bianca, if I can by any means light on a fit man to teach her that wherein she delights, I will wish him to her father.
So will I, Signor Gremio, but a word, I pray. Though the nature of our quarrel yet never brooked parley, know now upon advice, it toucheth us both, that we may yet again have access to our fair mistress, and be happy rivals in Bianca's love, to labor and effect one thing specially.
What's that, I pray?
Marry, sir, to get a husband for her sister.
Husband, a devil.
I say a husband.
I say a devil. Thinkst thou, Hortensio, though her father be very rich, any man is so very a fool to be married to hell?
Tush, Gremio, though it pass your patience and mine to endure her loud alarms, white men, there be good fellows in this world would take her with all faults and money enough.
I cannot tell, but I had as lief take her dowry with this condition, to be whipped at the high cross every morning.
Faith, as you say, there's small choice in rotten apples. But come, since this bar and law makes us friends, it shall be so far forth friendly maintained. This till by helping Baptista's eldest daughter to a husband, we set his youngest free for a husband, and then have to it afresh. Sweet Bianca, happy man be his dole. He that runs fastest gets the ring. How say you, Signor Gremio?
I am agreed. And would I had given him the best horse in Padua to begin his wooing, that would thoroughly woo her, wed her, and bed her, and rid the house of her. Come on.
I pray, sir, tell me, is it possible that love should of a sudden take such hold?
Tranio, till I found it to be true, I never thought it possible or likely. But see, while idly I stood looking on, I found the effect of love in idleness. And now in plainness, do confess to thee, Tranio, I burn. I pine, I perish, Tranio, if I achieve not this young modest girl. Counsel me, Tranio, for I know thou canst.
Master, you look so longingly on the maid. Perhaps you mark not what's the pith of all?
Oh yes, I saw sweet beauty in her face.
Saw you no more? Marked you not how her sister began to scold and raise up such a storm that mortal ears might hardly endure the din?
Tranio, I saw her coral lips to move, and with her breath she did perfume the air. Sacred and sweet was all I saw on her.
Nay, then it is time to stir him from his trance. I pray, awake, sir. If you love the maid, bend thought and wits to achieve her. Thus it stands. Her elder sister is so cursed and shrewd, till the father rid his hands of her. Master, your love must live a maid at home, and therefore has he closely mewed her up, because she will not be annoyed with suitors.
Ah, Tranio, what a cruel father is he! But art thou not advised he took some care to get her cunning schoolmasters to instruct her?
Why, marry am I, sir, and now 'tis plotted.
I have it, Tranio!
Master, for my hand, both our inventions meet and dump in one.
Tell me thine first.
You will be the schoolmaster and undertake the teaching of the maid.
But may it be done?
Not possible. For who shall bear your part, and be in Padua here, Vincentio's son, keep house and ply his book, welcome his friends, visit his countrymen and banquet them?
We have not yet been seen in any house, nor can we be distinguished by our faces for man or master. Then it follows thus: thou shalt be master, Tranio, in my stead. I will some other be, some Florentine, some Neapolitan, or meaner man of Pisa. 'Tis hatched and shall be so. Tranio, at once Uncase thee. Take my colored hat and cloak. When Biondello comes, he waits on thee, but I will charm him first to keep his tongue. Oh, here comes the rogue. Sirrah, where have you been?
Where have I been? Nay, how now? Where are you? Master, has my fellow Tranio stolen your clothes? Or you stole his? Or both? Pray, what's the news?
Sirrah, come hither. 'Tis no time to jest, and therefore frame your manners to the time. Your fellow Tranio here, to save my life, puts on my apparel and my countenance on, and I, for my escape, have put on his. For in a quarrel since I came ashore, I killed a man. And fear I was descried. Wait upon him, I charge you, as becomes, while I make way for hence to save my life. You understand me?
Aye, sir. Ne'er a whit.
And not a jot of Tranio in your mouth. Tranio is changed into Lucentio.
The better for him, would I were so too.
So could I, faith boy, have the next wish after, that Lucentio indeed had Baptista's youngest daughter. But Sirrah, not for my sake, but your master's, I advise you use your manners discreetly in all kinds of companies. When I am alone, why then, I'm Tranio. In all places else, your master, Lucentio.
Tranio, let's go. One more thing rests, that thyself execute, to make one among these wooers. If you ask me why, sufficeth, my reasons are both good and weighty.
My lord, you do not mind the play. You nod.
Oh, nope. Yes, by St. Anne do I. It's a good matter, surely. Comes there any more of it?
My lord, 'tis but begun.
Oh, well, 'tis a very excellent piece of work, madam and lady. Would 'twere done.
Verona, for a while I take my leave to see my friends in Padua, but of all my best beloved and approved friend Hortensio, and I trow this is his house here, Sirrah Grumio. Knock, I say.
Knock, sir. Oh, whom should I knock? Is there any man who has abused your worship?
Villain, I say, knock me here soundly.
Knock you, sir? What, sir am I? Why should I knock you here?
A villain, I say, knock me at this gate and rap me well, or I'll knock your knave's pate.
My master is grown quarrelsome. I should knock you first, and then I know who comes after the worst.
Be, you say, Sirrah, and you'll not knock, I'll ring it. I'll try how you can sol, fa, and sing it.
Oh! Help me, master, help me, my man is mad.
Now knock when I bid you. Sirrah, villain.
Hey, how now? What's the matter? My old friend Grumio and my good friend Petruchio?
Signor Hortensio, come you to part the fray.
Rise, Grumio, rise. We will compound this quarrel.
If it be not a lawful cause for me to leave his service, look you, sir, he bid me knock him and rap him soundly what was fit for a servant to use his master, so being perhaps, for I ought to see, 2 and 30. Whom would to God I had well knocked at first, then had not Grumio come by the worst.
Senseless villain, good Hortensio, I bade the rascal knock upon your gate, and could not get him from my heart to do it.
Knock at the gate. Oh, heavens, spake you not these words plain? Sirrah, knock me here, rap me here, knock me soundly, and now you come with knocking at the gate.
Sirrah, begone, or talk not, I advise you.
Petruchio, patience. I'm Grumio's pledge. Why, this is a heavy chance twixt him and you, your ancient, trusty, pleasant servant, Grumio. And tell me now, sweet friend, what happy gale blows you to Padua here from old Verona?
Well, Antonio, my father, is deceased, and I have thrust myself into this maze, happily to wive and thrive as best I may. Crowns in my purse I have, and goods at home, and so I'm come abroad to see the world.
Petruchio, shall I then come roundly to thee and wish thee to a shrewd, ill-favored wife? That's thanking me, but a little for my counsel, and yet I promise thee she shall be rich, and very rich. But thou art too much, my friend, and I'll not wish thee to her.
Signor Hortensio, 'Twixt such friends as we, few words suffice, and therefore, if you know one rich enough to be Petruchio's wife, be she as foul as was Florentius' love, as old as Sybil, and as cursed and shrewd as Socrates then to be, or a worse, she moves me not, nor removes at least affection's edge in me, where she is rough as are the swelling Adriatic seas, I come to wive it wealthily in Padua.
Look you, sir, he tells you flatly what his mind is. Why, give him gold enough and marry him to a puppet or an alligator baby or an old trot with ne'er a tooth in her head, though she have as many diseases as 52 horses.
Petruchio, since we're a step thus far in, I will continue that I broached in jest. I can, Petruchio, help thee to a wife with wealth enough and young and beauteous, brought up as best becomes a gentlewoman. Her only fault, and that is faults enough, is that she is intolerable, cursed, and shrewd, and forward. So beyond all measure, that were my state far worse than it is, I would not wed her for a mine of gold.
Oh, Hortensio, peace, thou knowst not gold's effect. Tell me her father's name, and 'tis enough, for I will board her, though she chide as loud as thunder when the clouds in autumn crack.
Her father is Baptista Minola, an affable and courteous gentleman. Her name is Katharina Minola, renowned in Padua for her scolding tongue.
Well, I know her father, though I know not her, and he knew my deceased father well. I will not sleep, Hortensio, till I see her. Therefore, let me be thus bold with you to give you over at this first encounter, unless you will accompany me thither.
I pray you, sir, let him go while the humor lasts. On my word, she knew him as well as I do. She would think scolding would do little good upon him.
Tarry, Petruchio, I must go with thee, for in Baptista's keep my treasure is. He hath the jewel of my life in hold, his youngest daughter, beautiful Bianca, and her withholds from me. Other more suitors to her, and rivals in my love, supposing it a thing impossible. For those defects I have before rehearsed, that ever Katharina will be wooed. Therefore this order hath Baptista taken, that none shall have access unto Bianca till Catherine the Cursed have got a husband.
Catherine the Cursed! Oh, title for a maid of all titles the worst.
Now shall my friend Petruchio do me grace and offer me disguised in sober robes to old Baptista as a schoolmaster, well seen in music, to instruct Bianca, that so I may by this device at least have leave and leisure to make love to her in unsuspected quarter by herself?
Master, look about you, look, who goes there?
Peace, Grumio, it is the rival of my love. Petruchio, stand by a while.
A proper stripling and an amorous.
Oh, very well. I have perused the note, hark you, sir. I have them very fairly bound, all books of love. See that at any hand, and see you read no other lectures to her. You understand me? Over and beside Senor Baptista's liberality, I'll mend it with a largesse. Take your paper too, and let me have them very well perfumed, for she is sweeter than perfume itself to whom they go. What will you read to her?
Whate'er I read to her, I will plead for you. As for my patron, stand you so assured, as firmly as yourself will still in place. Yea, and perhaps with more successful words than you, unless you were a scholar.
Oh, this learning, what a thing it is.
Oh, this woodcock, what an ass it is.
God save you, Senor Gremio.
And you are well met, Senor Hortensio. Trow you whither I am going? To Baptista Minola. I promise to inquire carefully about a schoolmaster for the fair Bianca, and by good fortune I have lighted well on this young man for learning and behavior fit for her turn, well read in poetry and other books, good ones, I warrant you.
'Tis well. And I have met a gentleman hath promised me to help one to another, a fine musician to instruct our mistress. So shall I know wit beyond the duty, and fair Bianca so beloved of me.
Beloved of me, and that my deed shall prove.
That his bag shall prove.
Gremio, 'tis now no time to vent our love. Listen to me, and if you speak me fair, I'll tell you news indifferent good for either. Here is a gentleman whom by chance I met upon agreement from us to his liking will undertake to woo cursed Catherine, yea, and to marry her in her dowry, please.
Oh, Hortensio, have you told him all her faults?
I know she is an irksome, brawling scold. If that be all, masters, I hear no harm.
Oh, sir, such a life with such a wife were strange. But if you have a stomach to it, a God's name, you shall have me assisting you in all. But will you woo this wildcat?
Why came I hither but to that intent? Think you a little din can daunt mine ears? Have I not in my time heard lions roar? Have I not heard the sea puffed up with winds rage like an angry boar chafed in sweat? Have I not heard great ordnance in the field and heaven's artillery thunder in the skies? Have I not in a pitched battle heard loud larums neighing steeds and trumpets clang? And do you tell me of a woman's tongue that gives not so half so great a blow to hear as will a chestnut in a farmer's fire? Tush, fear boys with bugs.
He fears none.
This gentleman is happily arrived. My mind presumes for his own good and yours.
I promised we would be contributors and bear this charge of wooing whatsoever.
And so we will, provided that he will win her.
Gentlemen, God save you. If I may be bold, tell me, I beseech you, which is the readiest way to the house of Signor Baptista Minola?
He that has the two fair daughters, is it he you mean?
Even he, Biondello.
Hark you, sir. You mean not her to...
Perhaps him and her, sir. What have you to do?
Not her that chides, sir, at any hand, I pray?
I love no chiders. Biondello, let's away.
Well begun, Tranio.
Sir, a word ere you go. Are you a suitor to the maid you talked of, yea or no?
And if I be, sir, is it any offence?
No. If without more words you will get you hence.
Why, sir, I pray you, are not the streets as free for me as for you?
But so is not she.
For what reason, I beseech you?
That she's the choice love of Signor Gremio.
That she's the chosen of Signor Hortensio.
Softly, my masters. If you be gentlemen, do me this right. Hear me with patience. Baptista is a noble gentleman, to whom my father is not all unknown, and were his daughter fairer than she is, she may more suitors have, and me for one. Fair lady's daughter had 1,000 wooer, then will one more may fair Bianca have, and so she shall. Lucentio shall make one, though Paris came in hope to speed alone.
What? This gentleman will outtalk us all.
Sir, let me be so bold as ask you, did you ever see Baptista's daughter?
No, sir. I do hear that he hath two. The one is famous for a scolding tongue, as is the other for beauteous modesty.
Sir, that's first for me. Let her go by.
Yea, leave that labor to great Hercules.
Her, understand you this of me. In sooth, the youngest daughter whom you hearken for, her father keeps from all access of suitors, and will not promise her to any man until the elder sister first be wed. The younger then is free, and not before.
If it be so, sir, that you are the man must lead us all, and me amongst the rest, and if you break the ice and do this seek, achieve the elder, set the younger free. For our access, whose hap shall be to have her, will not so graceless be to being great.
Sir, you say well, and well you do conceive. And since you do profess to be a suitor, you must, as we do, gratify this gentleman, to whom we all rest generally beholding.
Sir, I shall not be slack in sign whereof. Please, we may contrive this afternoon and quaff carouses to our mistress's health, and do as adversaries do in law, strive mightily, but eat and drink as friends.
How excellent motion! Yes! Let's be on.
The motion's good indeed, and to be it so. Petruchio, I shall be your benvenuto.
Oh, good sister, wrong me not, nor wrong yourself to make a bondmaid and a slave of me, that I disdain. But for these other goods, unbind my hands, I'll pull them off myself. Yea, all my raiment to my petticoat, or what you will command me, will I do. So well I know my duty to my elders.
Of all thy suitors here, I charge, tell whom thou lovest best. See thou, Dissemble not.
Believe me, sister, of all the men alive, I never yet beheld that special face which I could fancy more than any other.
Thou liest. It's not Hortensio.
If you affect him, sister, here I swear I'll plead for you myself, but you shall have him.
Oh, then belike you fancy riches more. You will have Gremio to keep you fair.
Is it for him that you do envy me so? Nay, then you jest. Oh, and now I well perceive that you have jested with me all this while. I prithee, sister Kate, untie my hand.
If that be jest, then all the rest was so.
Why? How now, dame? Whence grows this insolence? Bianca, stand aside. Poor girl, she weeps. Go ply thy needle, meddle not with her. For shame, thou hireling of a devilish spirit, why dost thou wrong her that did ne'er wrong thee? When did she cross thee with a bitter word?
Her silence flouts me, and I'll be revenged.
What in my sight? Bianca, get thee in.
Will you not suffer me? Nay, now I see she is your treasure. She must have a husband. I must dance barefoot on her wedding day. And for your love to her, lead apes in hell. Talk not to me. I will go sit and weep till I can find some occasion for revenge.
Was ever gentleman thus grieved as I? But who comes here?
Good morrow, neighbor Baptista.
Good morrow, neighbor Gremio. God save you, gentlemen.
And you, good sir, pray, have you not a daughter called Katharina, fair and virtuous?
I have a daughter, sir, called Katerina.
I am a gentleman of Verona, sir, that hearing of her beauty and her wit, her affable and bashful modesty, her wondrous qualities and mild behavior, am bold to show myself a forward guest within your house to make mine eye the witness of that report, which I so oft have heard. And for an entrance to my entertainment, I do present you with a man of mine, cunning in music and the mathematics, to instruct her fully in those sciences, whereof I know she is not ignorant, except of him, or else you do me wrong. His name is Litio, born in Mantua.
You're welcome, sir, and he for your good sake. But for my daughter Catherine, this I know. She is not for your turn, the more my grief.
Oh, I see you do not mean to part with her, or else you like not of my company?
Mistake me not. I speak but as I find. Whence are you, sir? What may I call your name?
Oh, Petruchio is my name. Antonio's son, a man well known throughout all Italy.
I know him well. You are welcome for his sake.
Saving your tale, Petruchio, I pray let us that our poor petitioners speak to. Signor Baptista, this is a gift to express the like kindness myself that have been more kindly beholding to you than any. Freely give unto this young scholar that is cunning in Greek, Latin, and other languages. His name is Cambio. Pray, accept this service.
1,000 thanks, Signor Gremio. Welcome, good Cambio. But, gentle sir, methinks you walk like a stranger. May I be so bold to know the cause of your coming?
Oh, pardon me, sir, the boldness is mine own. That being a stranger in this city here, make myself a suitor to your daughter, unto Bianca, fair and virtuous. At this liberty is all that I request, that upon knowledge of my parentage, I may have welcome amongst the rest that woo, and free access and favour as the rest. And towards the education of your daughters, I here bestow a simple instrument and this small packet of Greek and Latin books. If you accept them, then their worth is great.
Lucentio is your name? Of whence, I pray?
Of Pisa, sir, son to Vincentio.
A mighty man of Pisa by report. I know him well. You are very welcome, sir. Take you the lute, and you the set of books. You shall go see your pupils presently. Holla, within. Sirrah, lead these gentlemen to my daughters and tell them both these are their tutors. Bid them use them well.
Signor Baptista, my business asketh haste, and every day I cannot come to woo. You knew my father well, and in him me left sole heir to all his lands and goods, which I have bettered rather than decreased. Then tell me, if I get your daughter's love, what dowry shall I have with her to wife?
After my death, the 1/2 of my lands, and in possession 20,000 crowns.
Oh, and in that dowry, I'll assure her of her widowhood, be it that she survive me in all my lands and leases whatsoever. Let specialties be therefore drawn between us, that covenants may be kept on either hand.
Aye, when the special thing is well obtained, that is her love, for that is all in all.
Is nothing. For I tell you, Father, I am as peremptory as she is proud-minded. And where two raging fires meet together, they do consume the thing that feeds their fury. So I to her, and so she yields to me, for I am rough, and woo not like a babe.
Well mayst thou woo, and happy be thy speed. Be thou armed for some unhappy words. How now, my friend? Why dost thou look so pale?
Fear, I promise you.
What? Will my daughter prove a good musician?
Well, I think she'll sooner prove a soldier. Iron may hold with her, but never lutes.
Why then thou canst not break her to the lute.
No, for she hath broke the lute to me. I did but tell her she mistook her frets and bowed her hand to teach her fingering when, with a most impatient devilish spirit, frets, call you these, quoth she. I'll fume with them. And with that word she struck me on the head, and through the instrument my pate made way, and there I stood amazed for a while. Well, she did call me a rascal fiddler and twangling jack and 20 such vile terms as she studied to misuse me so.
Now, by the world, it is a lusty wench. I love her 10 times more than e'er I did. Oh, how I long to have some chat with her.
Well, go with me, and be not so discomfited. Proceed in practice with my younger daughter. She is apt to learn and thankful for good turns. Signor Petruchio, will you go with us, or shall I send my daughter Kate to you?
I pray you do. I'll attend her here. And woo her with some spirit when she comes. Say that she rail. Why then I'll tell her plain she sings as sweetly as a nightingale. Say that she frown. I'll say she looks as clear as morning roses newly washed with dew. And say she be mute and will not speak a word, then I'll commend her volubility and say she uttereth piercing eloquence. If she do bid me pack, I'll give her thanks as though she bid me stay by her a week. If she deny to wed, I'll crave the day when I shall ask the banns and when be married, but here she comes. Good morrow, Kate. But that's your name, I hear.
Well have you heard, but something hard of hearing. They call me Catherine, that do talk of me.
You lie, in faith, for you are called plain Kate, and bony Kate, and sometimes Kate the curse. But Kate, the prettiest Kate in all Christendom, Kate of Kate Hall, my super dainty Kate. For dainties are all Kates, and therefore, Kate, take this of me, Kate of my consolation, hearing thy mildness praised in every town, thy virtues spoke of, and thy beauty sounded. Yet not so deeply as to thee belongs. Myself am moved to woo thee for my wife.
Moved? In good time, let him that moved you hither remove you hence. I knew you at the first, you were immovable.
Why, what's immovable?
A joined stool.
Oh, thou hast hit it. Come sit on me.
Asses are made to bear, and so are you.
Oh, women are made to bear, and so are you.
No such jade as you with me, you mean?
Oh, that's good, Kate. I will not burthen thee for knowing thee to be but young and light.
Too light for such a swain as you to catch, and yet as heavy as my weight should be.
Oh, come, you wasp, I think you are too angry.
If I be waspish, best beware my sting.
My remedy then is to pluck it out.
Aye, if the fool could find where it lies.
Oh, who knows not where a wasp does wear his sting in his tail?
In his tongue.
Whose tongue?
Yours, if you talk of tales, and so farewell.
Oh, why would my tongue in your tail? Nay, come again, good Kate. I am a gentleman. Oh, I swear I'll cuff you if you strike again.
If you strike me, you are no gentleman.
Nay, come, Kate, come. You must not look so sour.
It is my fashion when I see a crab.
Oh, you mean my face?
Well aimed of such a young one.
No, by St. George, I am too young for you.
Yet you are withered.
'Tis but cares.
Care not.
Hey, hear you, Kate, the sooth you escape not so.
I chafe you if you tarry. Let me go.
No, not a whit. I find you passing gentle. 'Twas told me you were rough and coy and sullen, and now I find report a very liar, for thou art pleasant, gamesome, passing courteous. Thou canst not frown, thou canst not look askance, nor bite the lip as angry wenches will. Nor hast thou pleasure to be cross in talk, but thou with mildness entertainst thy wooers with gentle conference soft and affable. Oh, why does the world report that Kate doth limp? Oh, slanderous world, Kate, like the hazel twig, is straight and slender and as brown in hue as hazelnut, sweeter than the kernels. Oh, let me see thee walk. Thou dost not halt.
Go, fool, and whom thou keepst command.
Did ever Diane so become a grove as Kate this chamber with her princely gait? Oh, be thou Diane, let her be Kate, and then let Kate be chaste and Diane sportful.
Where did you study all this goodly speech?
Oh, it is extempore from my mother's wit.
A witty mother, witless else her son.
Am I not wise?
Yes, keep you warm.
Marry, so I mean, sweet Catherine, in my bed. And therefore, setting all this chat aside, thus in plain terms, your father hath consented that you shall be my wife. Your dowry agreed on. Oh, Kate, I am a husband for your turn. No, for by this light, whereby I see thy beauty that doth make me like thee well. Thou must be married to no man but me. For am born to tame you, Kate, and bring you from a wild Kate to a Kate conformable as other household Kates. Here comes your father. Never make denial. I must and will have Catherine to my wife.
Now, Signor Petruchio, how speed you with my daughter?
Oh, how but well, sir, how but well.
Why, how now, daughter Catherine, in your dumps?
Call you me daughter. Now, I promise you, you have showed a tender, fatherly regard to wish me wed to one half lunatic, a madcap ruffian, and a swearing jack that thinks with oaths to face the matter out.
Father, 'tis thus. Yourself and all the world that talked of her have talked amiss of her. If she be cursed, it is for policy, for she's not forward, but modest as the dove. She's not hot, but temperate as the morn. And to conclude, we have agreed so well together that upon Sunday is the wedding day.
I'll see thee hanged on Sunday first.
Art Petruchio, she says she'll see thee hanged first.
Is this your speeding? Nay, the good knight our part.
Be patient, gentlemen. I chose her for myself. If she and I be pleased, what's that to you? 'Tis bargain twixt us twain, being alone, that she shall still be cursed in company. I tell you, 'tis incredible to believe how much she loves me. Oh, the kindest Kate. She hung about my neck, and kiss on kiss she bites so fast, protesting oath on oath that in a twinkle she won me to her love. Oh, give me thy hand, Kate. I will unto Venice go to buy apparel against the wedding day, provide the feast, father, and bake the guests. I will be sure my Catherine shall be fine.
I know not what to say, but give me your hands. God send you joy, Petruchio, 'tis a match.
Amen.
Baby.
Father and wife and gentlemen, adieu. I will to Venice. Sunday comes apace. We will have rings and things and fine array and kiss me, Kate. We will be married on a Sunday.
Was ever match clapped up so suddenly?
Faith, gentlemen, now I play a merchant's part and venture madly on a desperate mart.
'Twas a commodity lay fretting by ye. 'Twill bring you gain or perish on the seas.
Gain I seek is quiet me the match.
No doubt, but he hath got a quiet catch. But now, Baptista, to your younger daughter, now is the day we long have looked for. I am your neighbor and was suitor first.
And I am one that loves Bianca more than words can witness or your thoughts can guess.
Youngling, thou canst not love so dear as I.
Greybeard, thy love doth freeze.
But thine doth fry. Skipper, stand back, 'tis age that nourisheth.
But youth in ladies' eyes that flourisheth.
Content you, gentlemen, I will compound this strife. 'Tis deeds must win the prize, and he of both that can assure my daughter greatest dower shall have my Bianca's love. Say, Signor Gremio, what can you assure her?
First, as you know, my house within the city is richly furnished with plate and gold, basins and ewers to lave her dainty hands. My hangings, all of Tyrian tapestry, in ivory coffers I have stuffed my crowns, in cypress chests my arras counterpoints, costly apparel, tents and canopies, fine linen, turkey cushion bossed with pearl, valance of Venice gold in needlework, pewter and brass, and all things that belongs to house or housekeeping. Then at my farm, I have 100 milch kine to the pail, 60 fat oxen standing in my stalls, and all things answerable to this portion. Myself am struck in years, I must confess, and if I die tomorrow, this is hers. If whilst I live, she will be only mine.
I am my father's heir and only son. If I may have your daughter to my wife, I'll leave her houses 3 or 4 as good within rich Pisa's walls as any one old Signor Gremio has in Padua. Besides, 3,000 ducats by the year of fruitful land, all which shall be her jointer. What, have I pinched ye, Signor Gremio?
2,000 ducats by the year of land. My land accounts not to so much in all. That she shall have, besides an argosy that now is lying in Marcellus Road. What, have I choked you with an argosy?
Oh, Gremio, 'tis known my father hath no less than 3 great argosies, besides 2 galleasses and 12 tight galleys. These I will assure her, and twice as much whate'er thou offerest next.
Nay, I have offered all. I have no more, and she can have no more than all I have. If you like me, she shall have me and mine.
Why, then the maid is mine. From all the world, by your firm promise, Gremio is outvied.
I must confess your offer is the best, and let your father make her the assurance she is your own, else you must pardon me. If you should die before him, where's her dower?
Oh, that's but a cavil. He is old, I young.
And may not young men die as well as old?
Well, gentlemen, I am thus resolved. On Sunday next, you know my daughter Catherine is to be married. Now, on the Sunday following, shall Bianca be bride to you, if you make this assurance. If not, to Signor Gremio. And so I take my leave and thank you both.
Adieu, good neighbor. Now I fear thee not. An old Italian fox is not so kind, my boy.
A vengeance on your crafty wit hide. I see no reason but supposed Lucentio must get a father called supposed Vincentio, and that's a wonder. Fathers commonly get their children, but in this case of wooing, a child shall get a sire, if I fail not in my cunning.
Fiddler forbear, you grow too forward, sir. Have you so soon forgot the entertainment her sister Catherine welcomed you withal?
But wrangling pedant, this is the patroness of heavenly harmony. Then give me leave to practice, to have prerogative. And when in music we have spent an hour, your lecture shall have leisure for as much.
Preposterous ass that never read so far to know the cause why music was ordained. Was it not to refresh the mind of man after his studies or his usual pain? Then give me leave to read philosophy, and while I pause, serve in your harmony.
Sirrah, I will not bear these braves of thine.
Why, gentlemen, you do me double wrong to strive for that which resteth in my choice. I am no breaching scholar in the schools. I'll not be tied to hours, nor pointed times, but learn my lessons as I please myself. And to cut off all strife, here, sit we down. Take you your instrument, play you the whiles. His lecture will be done ere you have tuned.
You'll leave his lecture when I'm a tune?
That will never be. Tune your instrument.
Where left we last?
Hic ibat, as I told you before. Simois, I am Lucentio. Hic est, son unto Vincentio of Pisa. Sigaria tellus, disguised thus to get your love. Hic steterat, and that Lucentio that comes a-wooing. Priami is my Mantronio. Regia, bearing my port. Celsa senis, that we might beguile the old pantaloon.
Madam, my instrument's in tune.
Oh, let's hear. Oh, now fie the treble jars.
Spit in the hole, man, and tune again.
Oh, now let me see if I can construe it. Hic ibat simoes, I know you not. Hic est sigeria tellus, I trust you not. Hic steterat priami, take heed he hear us not. Regia, presume not. Celsa senis, spare not.
Madam, 'tis now in tune.
All but the bass.
The bass is right. 'Tis the bass knave that jars. Iron forward pedant is now for my life. The knave doth court my love. Pedescule, I'll watch you better yet.
In time I believe, yet I mistrust.
Mistrust it not. For sure, Aeacides was Ajax called so from his grandfather.
I must believe my master, else I promise you I should be arguing still upon that doubt, but let it rest. Now, Lithio, to you. Good master, take it not unkindly, pray that I have been thus pleasant with both of you.
You may go walk and give me leave a while. My lessons make no music in 3 parts.
Are you so formal, sir? Well, I must wait and watch withal, for but I'd be deceived, our fine musician groweth amorous.
Madam, before you touch the instrument, to learn the order of my fingering, I must begin with rudiments of art, to teach you gamut in a briefer sort, more pleasant, pithy, and effectual than hath been taught by any of my trade. And there it is, in writing, fairly drawn.
Oh, why, I am past my gamut long ago.
Yet read the gamut of Hortensia.
Gamut I am, the ground of all accord. A, Ray, to plead Hortensio's passion. B, me, Bianca take him for thy lord. C, far out, that loves with all affection. D, sol, Ray, one cliff, 2 notes of I. E, la me, show pity or I die. Oh, call you this gamut, I like it not. Old fashions please me best. I am not so nice to charge true rules for odd inventions. Play it again.
Yeah, sure.
Mistress, your father prays you leave your books and help to dress your sister's chamber up. You know tomorrow is the wedding day.
Oh, farewell, sweet masters, both. I must be gone.
Faith, mistress, then I have no cause to stay.
I have cause to pry into this pedant. Methinks he looks as though he were in love. Yet if thy thoughts, Bianca, be so humble to cast thy wandering eyes on every stale, seize thee that list. If once I find thee ranging, Hortensio will be quit of thee by changing.
Signor Lucentio, this is the pointed day that Catherine and Petruchio should be married. and yet we hear not of our son-in-law. What will be said? What mockery will it be? To want the bridegroom when the priest attends to speak the ceremonial rites of marriage? What says Lucentio to this shame of ours?
No shame but mine. I must forsooth be married, to give my hand opposed against my heart unto a mad-brain Rudesby full of spleen, who wooed in haste and means to wed at leisure. I told you, he was a frantic fool, hiding his bitter jests in blunt behavior, and to be noted for a merry man, he'll woo 1,000, point the day of marriage, make friends, invite and proclaim the banns, yet never means to wed where he hath wooed. Now must the world point at poor Catherine and say, lo, there is mad Petruchio's wife, if it would please him to come and marry her.
Patience, good Catherine, and that please to do. Upon my life, Petruchio means but well. Whatever fortune stays him from his word, though he be blunt, I know him passing wise. Though he be merry, yet withal he's honest.
Would Catherine had never seen him, though.
Oh, girl, I cannot blame thee now to weep, for such an injury would vex a very saint, much more a shrew of impatient humour.
Master, news. Old news, and such news as you never heard of.
Is it new and old too? How may that be?
Why, is it not news to hear of Petruchio's coming?
Is he come?
Why, no, sir.
What then?
He is coming.
When will he be here?
When he stands where I am and sees you there.
Oh, but say you, what thine old news?
Why, Petruchio is coming in a new hat and an old jerkin and a pair of old breeches thrice turned, yet a pair of boots that have been candle cases, one buckled, another laced, yet an old rusty sword taken out of the town armoury with a broken hilt and chapeless, yet with two broken points, his horse hipped with an old mothy saddle and stirrups of no kindred, besides, yet possessed, yet with the glanders, and like to Mose in the chine, rayed with the yellows, past cure of the fives, swayed in the back and shoulder rotten, and with a half-cheeked bit and a headstall of sheep's leather, which, being restrained to keep him from stumbling.
Who comes with him?
Oh, sir, yeah, his lackey, for all the world caparisoned like the horse, with a linen stock on one leg and a kersey boot on the other, yet gartered with the red and blue list, an old hat, and the humour of 40 fancies pricked in't for a feather. A monster, a very monster in apparel, and not like a Christian footboy or a gentleman's lackey.
'Tis some odd humour pricks him to this fashion, yet oftentimes he goes but mean apparelled.
I'm glad he's come, howsoe'er he comes.
Why say he comes not?
Didst thou not say he comes?
Who, that Petruchio came?
Aye, that Petruchio came.
Oh, no, sir, I say his horse comes with him on his back.
Why, that's all one.
Oh, where be these gallants? Who's at home?
You are welcome, sir.
And yet I come not well.
Not so well apparelled as I wish you were.
Oh, where is Kate? Where is my lovely bride? How does my father? Gentles, methinks you frown. For gazes goodly company, as if they saw some wondrous monument or some unusual prodigy.
Why, sir, you know this is your wedding day. First we were sad, fearing you would not come. Now sadder that you come so unprovided.
And tell us what occasion of import hath also long detained you from your wife, and sent you hither so unlike yourself.
Oh, tedious it were to tell, and harsh to hear. Sufficeth, I am come to keep my word, but where is Kate? I stay too long from her the morning. Where is this time we were at church?
Oh, see not your bride in these unreverent robes. Go to my chamber, put on clothes of mine.
But I believe me thus, I'll visit her.
But thus I trust you will not marry her.
Good, so even thus, therefore 'tis done with words. To me she's married, not into my clothes. Could I repair what she will wear in me, as I can change these poor accoutrements were well for Kate and better for myself. But what a fool am I to chat with you when I should bid good morrow to my bride and seal the title with a lovely kiss.
He has some meaning in his mad attire. We will persuade him, be it possible, to put on better ere he go to church.
I'll after him and see the event of this.
But, sir, love concerneth us to add her father's liking, which to bring to pass, as before imparted to your worship, I am to get a man, whate'er he be, it skills not much, will fit him to our turn, and he shall be the Vicentio of Pisa, and make assurance here in Padua of greater sums than I have promised. So shall you quietly enjoy your hope and marry sweet Bianca with consent.
Were it not for my fellow schoolmaster doth watch Bianca's steps so narrowly, 'twere good, methinks, to steal our marriage, which once performed, let all the world say no, I will keep mine own despite all the world.
Well, that by degrees we mean to look into, and watch our vantage in this business. Will overreach the grey-beard Grimio and the narrow prying father Minola, the quaint musician amorous Litio, and all for my master's sake, Lucentio. Signor Gremio, came you from the church?
As willingly as ere I came from school.
And is the bride and bridegroom coming home?
Bridegroom, say you? 'Tis a groom indeed, a grumbling groom. That the girl shall find.
Well, cursed than she, what is impossible?
Why, he's a very fiend. I'll tell you, Sir Lucentio, when the priest should ask if Catherine should be his wife, I, by God's wounds, quoth he, and swore so loud that all amazed the priest let fall the book. And as he stooped again to take it up, this mad-brained bridegroom took him such a cuff that down fell priest and book and priest. Now take them up, quoth he, if any list.
What said the wench when he rose again?
Trembled and shook. For why? He stamped and swore as if the vicar meant to cozen him. But after many ceremonies done, he calls for wine. A health, quoth he, as if he'd been aboard carousing to his mates after a storm. Quaffed off the muscatel and threw the sops all in the sexton's face, having no other reason but that his beard grew thin and hungerly. This done, he took the bride about the neck and kissed her lips with such a clamorous smack that at the parting all the church did echo. And I seeing this, came thence for very shame, and after me I know the rout is coming. Such a mad marriage never was before.
Oh, gentlemen and friends, I thank you for your pains. I know you think to dine with me today and have prepared great store of wedding cheer, but so it is, my haste doth call me hence, and therefore here I mean to take my leave.
Is it possible you will away tonight?
I must away tonight before night come. Make it no wonder if you knew my business, you would entreat me rather go than stay. And honest company, I thank you all that have beheld me give away myself to this most patient, sweet, and virtuous wife. Dine with my father, drink a health to me, for I must head, and farewell to you all.
Let us entreat you stay till after dinner.
It may not be.
Let me entreat you.
I am content.
You are content to stay?
I am content. You shall entreat me stay, but yet not stay. Entreat me how you can.
Now, if you love me, stay.
Romeo, my horse!
Aye, sir, they are ready.
Nay, then, do what thou canst. I will not go today. No, nor tomorrow, not till I please myself. The door is open, sir. There lies your way.
Kate, content thee. Prithee, be not angry.
Oh, I will be angry. What hast thou to do? Gentlemen, forward to the bridal dinner. I see a woman may be made a fool if she had not a spirit to resist.
Oh, they shall go forward, Kate, at thy command. Obey the bride that you that attend on her, go to the feast, revel and domineer, carousal full measure to her maidenhead. Be mad and merry, or go hang yourselves. But for my bonny Kate, she must with me. Nay, look not big, nor stamp, nor stare, nor fret. I will be master of what is mine own. She is my goods, my chattel. She is my house, my household stuff, my field, my bourne, my horse, my ox, my ass, my everything, anything. And here she stands. Touch her, whoever dare. I'll bring mine action on the proudest he that stops my way in Padua. Grumio, draw forth thy weapon. We are beset with thieves. Rescue thy mistress if thou be a man. Fear not, sweet wench. They shall not touch thee, Kate. I'll buckler thee against a million.
Of all mad matches, never was the like.
Mistress, what's your opinion of your sister?
Being mad herself, she's madly mated.
Neighbors and friends, though bride and bridegroom wants for to supply the places at the table, you know there wants no junkets at the feast. Licentio, you shall supply the bridegroom's place, and let Bianca take her sister's room.
On all tired ladies, on all mad masters, and all foul ways, was ever man so beaten? Was ever man so raid? Was ever man so weary? Curtis!
Grumio, the news.
First, no, my horse is tired, and my master and mistress is falling out.
How?
Out of their saddles into the dirt. Thereby hangs a tail.
Let's hat. Good, Grumio.
In Prentice, we came down a foul hill, my master riding behind his mistress, and
Both of one horse.
tell thou the tale. But hast thou not crossed me, thou shouldst have heard. How? She under her horse fell, and thou should have heard how, in a miry place, how she was bemoiled, how he had left her with the horse upon her, how he beat me because her horse stumbled, and how she waded through the dirt to pluck him off, and how he swore, how she prayed, how I cried, how the horses ran away, how her bridle was burst, how I lost my cropper. With many things of worthy memory, which now shall die in oblivion, and thou return unexperienced to thy grave. Oh, what I bits. I hear my master.
Oh, where be these knaves? What, no man at the door? Stole my stirrup, nor to take my horse. Where is the foolish knave I sent before?
Here, sir, as foolish as I was before.
Go, rascal, go and fetch my summer in. Where is the life that late I led? Where are the sit down, Kate, and welcome? Why, when I say, nay, good sweet Kate, be merry. Off with my boots. You rogue, you villain, when? There was a friar of Lourdes grave. Oh, you rogue! You put my foot away. God, take that. Oh, and then the plucking of the other. Come here, Kate. Some water here. What? Oh, where are my slippers? Shall I have some water? Come, Kate, and wash, and welcome heartily. You whoresome villain. Oh, will you let it fall, you?
Patience, I pray you. 'Twas a fault unwilling.
Oh, horse and beetle-headed, flap-eared knave, come. Sit down. I know you have a stomach. Will you give it thanks, sweet Kate, or else shall I? Here, what's this? Mutton?
Aye.
Who bought it?
Aye.
Oh, it's burnt, and so is all the meat. Oh, how durst you, villain, bring it from the dresser and serve it thus to me that love it not? There, take it to you, trenchers, cups and all.
I pray you, husband, be not so disquiet. The meat was well, if you were so contented.
I tell thee, Kate, 'twas burnt and dried away, and I expressly am forbid to touch it, for it engenders choler, planteth anger, and better 'twere that both of us did fast, since of ourselves are choleric, than feed it with such over-roasted flesh. Be patient, smart shall be mended, and for this night we'll fast for company. Come, I will bring thee to thy bridal chamber.
Where is he?
In her chamber, making a sermon of consistency to her in rails and swears and raids that she poor soul knows not which way to stand, to look, to speak, and sits as one new risen from a dream. Oh, wait, for he is coming hither.
And thus I have politically become my reign, and 'tis my hope to end successfully. She eat no meat today, nor none shall eat. Last night she slept not, nor tonight she shall not. As with the meat, some undeserved fault I'll find about the making of the bed, and here I'll fling the pillow, there the bolster, and this way the coverlet, and another way the sheets. And amidst this hurly, I intend that all is done in reverend care of her. And in conclusion, she'll watch all night. And if she chance to nod, I'll rail and brawl, and with the clamor keep her still awake. This is a way to kill a wife with kindness, and thus I'll curb her mad and headstrong humor. He that knows better how to tame a shrew, now let him speak. 'Tis charity to show.
It's possible, friend Litio, that Mistress Bianca doth fancy any other but Lucentio. I tell you, sir, she bears me fair in hand.
Sir, to satisfy you in what I have said, stand by and mark the manner of his teaching.
Now, mistress, profit you in what you read?
What master read you first? Resolve me that.
I read that I profess the art to love.
And may you prove, sir, master of your art.
While you, sweet dear, prove mistress of my heart.
Now tell me, I pray, you that dare swear that your mistress Bianca loved none in the world so well as Lucentio?
Despiteful love, unconstant womankind. I tell thee, Litio, this is wonderful.
Mistake no more. I am not Litio, nor a musician, as I seem to be. No, sir, that I am called Hortensio.
Signor Hortensio, I have often heard of your affection unto Bianca, and since mine eyes are witness of her lightness, I will with you, if you be so contented, forswear Bianca and her love forever.
See how they kiss and court Signor Lucentio? Here's my hand, and here I firmly vow never to woo her more, but do forswear her as one unworthy all the former favors that I have fondly flattered them withal.
And here I take the like unfeigned oath, never to marry with her. She would entreat, fie on her. See how beastly she doth court him.
I will be married to a wealthy widow ere 3 days pass, which hath as long loved me as I love this proud disdainful haggard. And so farewell, Signor Lucentio. Kindness in women, not their beauteous looks, shall win my love. And so I take my leave in resolution, as I swore before.
Mistress Bianca, bless you with such grace, as longeth to a lover's blessed case. Nay, I have ta'en you napping, gentle love, and have forsworn you with Hortensio.
Tranio, you jest. But have you both forsworn me?
Mistress, we have.
Then we are rid of Litio.
In faith, he'll have a lusty widow now, that shall be wooed and wedded in a day.
God give him joy!
Aye, and he'll tame her.
He says so, Tranio.
Hey, he has gone into the taming school.
The taming school? What, is there such a place?
Aye, mistress, and Petruchio is the master that teacheth tricks 11 and 20 long to tame a shrew and charm her of her tongue.
Oh, master, master, I have watched so long that I am dog weary. But at last I spied an ancient angel coming down the hill will serve the turn.
What is he, Biondello?
Master, a malcontent, or a pedant, I know not what, but formal in apparel, in gait and countenance, surely like a father.
If he be credulous and trust my tale, I'll give him glad to seem Vincentio, and give assurance to Baptista Minola, as if he were the right Vincentio, and take in your love, and then let me alone.
God save you, sir.
And you, sir, you are welcome. What countryman, I pray?
Of Mantua.
Of Mantua, sir. Marry, God forbid, and come to Padua, careless of your life.
My life, sir? How I pray? That goes hard. Alas, sir, it is worse for me than so, for I have bills of money for exchange from Florence, and must here deliver them.
Oh, well, sir, to do you courtesy, this will I do, and this I will advise you. First, tell me, have you ever been at Pisa?
Aye, sir, in Pisa have I often been.
Among them know you one Vincentio?
I know him not, but I have heard of him, a merchant of incomparable wealth.
Well, he is my father, sir, and sooth to say, in countenance somewhat does resemble you.
As much as an apple doth an oyster, and all one.
Save your life in this extremity. This favour will I do for you. For his sake. His name and credit shall you undertake, and in my house you shall be friendly lodged. Look that you take upon you as you should. You understand me, sir? So shall you stay till you have done your business in the city. If this be courtesy, accept of it.
Oh, sir, I do, and I will repute you ever the patron of my life and liberty.
Then go with me to make the matter good. This, by the way, I let you understand. My father is here looked for every day to pass assurance of a dowry in marriage twixt me and one Baptista's daughter here. In all these circumstances, I'll instruct ye. Go with me to clothe you as becomes ye.
No. Forsooth, I dare not for my life.
The more my wrong, the more his spite appears. What, did he marry me to famish me? Beggars that come unto my father's door upon entreaty have a present alms. If not, elsewhere they meet with charity. But I, who never knew how to entreat, nor never needed that I should entreat, am starved for meat, giddy for lack of sleep, with oaths kept waking, and with brawling fed. And that which spites me more than all these wants, he does it under name of perfect love. As who should say, if I should sleep or eat, 'twere deadly sickness, or else present death. I prithee go, and get me some repast. I care not what, so it be wholesome food.
What say you to a neat's foot?
'Tis passing good. I prithee, let me have it.
No! It's too choleric a meat. Oh, how say you to a fine tripe, finely broiled?
I like it well. Good grumio, fetch it me.
Oh, I cannot tell. I fear it's choleric. What say you to a piece of beef or mustard?
A dish that I do love to feed upon.
Oh, but the mustard, it's a little too hot.
Why then the beef and let the mustard rest?
No, then I will not. You shall have the mustard, or else you get no beef of grumio.
Then both, or one, or anything thou wilt.
Why then you do the mustard without the beef.
Yo, get thee gone, thou false deluding slave, that feeds me with the very name of meat. Sorrow on thee, and all the pack of you that triumph thus upon my misery. Get thee gone, I say.
Oh, how fares my Kate and sweeting all amort?
Mistress, what cheer?
Faith as cold as can be.
And pluck up thy spirits, look cheerfully on me. Here, love, thou seest how diligent I am to dress thy meat myself and bring it thee. I am sure, sweet Kate, this kindness merits thanks. What, not a word? Nay then, thou lovest it not, and all my pains assorted to no proof. Here, take away this dish.
I pray you, let it stand.
The poorest service is repaid with thanks, and so shall mine before you touch the meat.
I thank you, sir.
Near Patricio Fire, you are to blame. Come, Mistress Kate, I'll bear you company.
Well, eat it all up, Hortensio, if thou lovest me. Much good do it unto thy gentle heart. Kate, eat apace. And now, my honey love, will we return unto thy father's house and revel it as bravely as the best? What hast thou dinged? The tailor stays thy leisure to deck thy body with his ruffling treasure. Come, tailor, let's see these ornaments. Lay forth the gown. What news with you, sir?
Here is the cap your worship did bespeak.
Oh, why, this was molded on a porringer of velvet dish. Fie, 'tis lewd and filthy. Away with it. Come, let me have a bigger.
No, I'll have no bigger. This doth fit the time, and gentle women wear such caps as these.
When you are gentle, you shall have one too, and not till then.
Why, sir, I trust I may have leave to speak, and speak I will. I am no child, no babe. Your betters have endured me say my mind, and if you cannot, best you stop your ears. My tongue will tell the anger of my heart, or else my heart concealing it will break. And rather than it shall, I will be free, even to the uttermost as I please in words.
Why, thou sayest true. It is a paltry cap. A custard coffin, a bauble, a silken pie. I love thee well in it, but thou likest it not.
Love me or love me not, I like the cap, and it I will have, or I will have none.
By God, what? Come, Taylor, let us see it. Oh, mercy God. What masking stuff is here? What's this, a sleeve? This is like a demi-cannon. What? Up and down, carved like an apple tart. Here's snip and nip and cut and slish and slash like a censor in a barber shop. What? A devil's name, Taylor, call thou this?
You bid me make it orderly and well according to the fashion and the time.
Marry, and did, but if you be remembered, I did not bid you mar it to the time. All none of it, hence make your best of it.
I never saw a better fashioned gown, more quaint, more pleasing, nor more commendable. Will be like you mean to make a puppet of me.
Why, true, he means to make a puppet of thee.
Oh, she says your worship means to make a puppet of her.
Well, sir, in brief, the gown is not for me. Hortensio, say thou wilt see the tailor paid, go take it hence, be gone, and say no more.
Taylor, I'll pay thee for that gown tomorrow. Take no unkindness of his hasty words. Oh, wait, I say, commend me to thy master.
Well, come, my Kate, we will unto your fathers, even in these honest, mean habiliments. Our purses shall be proud, our garments poor, for 'tis the mind that makes the body rich. And as the sun breaks through the darkest clouds, so honor peereth in the meanest habit. Why is the jay more precious than the lark? Because his feathers are more beautiful. Or is the adder better than the eel because his painted skin contents the iron? No, good Kate. Neither art thou the worse for this poor furniture and mean array. If thou accountest it shame, lay it on me. And therefore frolic. We will henceforth to feast and sport us at thy father's house. Go, call my men, and let us straight to him, and bring our horses into Long Lane End, and there we will mount, and thither walk on foot. Let's see, I think it is now some 7 o'clock, and we may well come there by dinner time.
I dare assure you, sir, 'tis almost 2, and 'twill be supper time ere you come there.
It shall be 7 ere I go to horse. What I speak or do or think to do, you are still crossing it. Sirs, let alone, I will not go today, and ere I do, it shall be what o'clock I say it is.
So this gallant will command the sun.
Sirs, this is the house. Please it you that call?
Aye, what else? And but I be deceived, Signor Baptista may remember me near 20 years ago in Genoa.
We were lodgers at the Pegasus. Well, and hold your own in any case, with such austerity as longeth to a father.
I warrant you, but sir, here comes your boy. 'Twere good he was schooled.
Fear you not him. Thira, Biondello, now do your duty thoroughly, I advise you. Imagine 'twere the right Vincentio.
Tut, fear not me.
Hast thou done thy errand to Baptista?
I told him that your father was at Venice and that you looked for him this day in Padua.
Here comes Baptista. Set your countenance, sir. Signor Baptista, you are happily met. Sir, this is the gentleman I told you of. Pray you stand, good father, to me now. Give me Bianca for my patrimony.
Soft son, sir, by your leave. Having come to Padua to gather in some debts, my son Lucentio made me acquainted with the weighty cause of love between your daughter and himself, and for the good report I hear of you, and for the love he beareth to your daughter, and she to him, to stay him not too long, I am content in a good father's care to have him matched. And if you please to like no worse than I upon some agreement, me shall you find ready and willing, with one consent, to have her so bestowed. For curious I cannot be with you, Signor Baptista, whom move my hair so well.
Sir, pardon me in what I have to say. Your plainness and your shortness please me well. Right true is your son Lucentio here doth love my daughter, and she loveth him, or both dissemble deeply their affections, and therefore if you say no more than this, that like a father you will deal with him and pass my daughter as sufficient dower, the match is made and all is done. Your son shall have my daughter with consent.
I thank you, sir. Where then do you know best we be affied and such assurances ta'en? Shall with either parts agreement stand?
Not in my house, Lucentio, for you know old Gremio is hearkening still, and happily we might be interrupted.
What then at my lodging, and it like you, or where does my father lie? And there this night will pass the business privately and well. Send for your daughter by your servant here. My boy shall fetch the scrivener presently. Worst is that, at so slender warning, you are like to have a thin and slender pittance.
It likes me well. Cambio, hie you home, and bid Bianca make her ready straight. And if you will tell what hath happened, Lucentio's father is arrived in Padua, and how she's like to be Lucentio's wife.
Signor Baptista, shall I lead the way?
I follow you.
Cambio.
What sayst thou, Biondello?
You saw my master wink and laugh upon you?
Biondello, what of that?
Faith, nothing, but has left me here behind to expound the meaning or moral of his signs and tokens.
I pray thee, moralize them.
Then thus, Baptista is safe talking with the deceived father of a deceitful son.
And what of him?
His daughter is to be brought by you to the supper.
And then?
The old priest at St. Luke's church is at your command at all hours.
And what of all this?
I cannot tell, except they are busied about a counterfeit assurance. Take you assurance of her. To the church take the priest, the clerk, and some sufficient honest witnesses. If this be not that you look for, I have no more to say, but bid Bianca farewell forever and a day. My master hath appointed me to go to St. Luke's to bid the priest be ready to come against you come with your appendix.
I may and will, if she be so contented. She will be pleased, then wherefore should I doubt? Hap what hap may, I'll roundly go about her. It shall go hard if Cambio go without her.
In God's name, once more toward our fathers. Good Lord, how bright and goodly shines the moon.
Moon? The sun. It is not moonlight now.
I say it is the moon that shines so bright.
I know it is the sun that shines so bright.
Now by my mother's son, and that's myself, it shall be moon or star or what I list, or ere I journey to your father's house. Go on, and fetch our horses back again. Never more crossed and crossed, nothing but crossed.
Say as he says, or we shall never go.
Forward, I pray, since we have come so far, and be it moon or sun or what you please, and if you please to call it a rush candle, henceforth I vow it shall be so for me.
I say it is the moon.
I know it is the moon.
Even you lie. It is the blessed sun.
And God be blessed, it is the blessed sun, but sun it is not when you say it is not. And the moon changes even as your mind. When you will have it named, even then it is. And so it shall be so for Catherine.
Shrew, go that way as the field is won.
Oh, but soft company is coming here. Good morrow, gentle mistress, where away? Tell me, Kate, and tell me truly too, hast thou beheld a fresher gentlewoman? Fair, lovely maid, once more a good day to thee. Oh, sweet Kate, embrace her for her beauty's sake.
Young budding virgin, fair and fresh and sweet, whether away or whether is thy abode. Happy the parents of so fair a child, happier the man whom favorable stars allots thee for his lovely bedfellow.
Why, now, Kate, I hope thou art not mad. This is a man. Old, wrinkled maiden and withered, and not a maiden as thou sayest he is.
Pardon, old father, my mistaking eyes that have been so bedazzled with the sun, that everything I look on seemeth green. Now I perceive thou art a reverend father. Pardon, I pray thee, for my mad mistaking.
Do, old grandsire, and withal make us known which way thou travellest, if along with us we shall be joyful of thy company.
Fair sir, and you, my merry mistress, that with your strange encounter much amazed me. My name is called Vincentio, my dwelling Pisa, and I am bound to Padua, there to visit a son of mine, which long I have not seen.
What is his name?
Vincentio, gentle sir.
Happily met, the happier for thy son. And now, by law, as well as reverend age, I may entitle thee my loving father, the sister to my wife. This gentlewoman, thy son, by this hath married. Wonder not, nor be not grieved, she is of good esteem, her dowry wealthy, and of worthy birth. Let me embrace with old Vincentio, and wander we to see thy honest son, who will be of thy arrival full joyous.
But is this true, or is it else your pleasure, like pleasant travelers, to break a jest upon the company you overtake?
Do assure thee, father, so it is.
Oh, come, go along, and see the truth hereof, for our first merriment hath made thee jealous. Oh, sir, here's the door. This is Lucentio's house. My father's bears more toward the marketplace. Thither must I, and here leave you, sir.
Oh, great. Yeah, you shall not choose but drink before you go. I think I shall command your welcome here, and by all likelihood some cheer is toward. What's he that knocks? This would beat down the gate. The Signor Lucentio within, sir.
He's within, sir, but not to be spoken withal.
What if a man bring him £100 or two to make merry withal?
Keep your £100 to yourself. He shall need none so long as I live.
I pray you tell Signor Lucentio that his father is come from Pisa and is at the door to speak with him.
Thou liest, his father is come from Padua and is here looking out at the window.
Art thou his father?
Aye, sir, so his mother says, if I may believe her.
I don't know, gentlemen, why this is flat knavery to take upon you another man's name.
But who is here? Mine old master Vincentio. Oh, now we are undone and brought to nothing.
Come hither, you rogue! What, have you forgot me?
I forgot you? No, sir. I could not forget you. For I never saw you before in all my life.
What? You notorious villain, didst thou never see thy master's father, Vincentio?
What? My old worshipful old master? Yes, marry so. See where he looks out of the window.
Is so indeed.
Yeah. He's going to kill me. The madman will murder me. Oh.
Kate, let's stand aside and see the end of this controversy.
Sir, what are you that offered to beat my servant?
What am I, sir? And what are you? Oh, immortal gods. Oh, fine villain. A silken doublet, a velvet hose, a scarlet cloak, and a capitaine hat. I am undone. I am undone. Well, I play the
good husband at home, my son and servant Spendle at the university.
How now? What's the matter?
What, is the man lunatic?
Sir, you seem a sober ancient gentleman by your habit, but your words show you a madman. Why, sir, what cerns you if I wear pearl and gold? I thank my father I am able to maintain it.
My father? Oh, villain, he's a sailmaker in Bergamo.
You mistake, sir. You mistake, sir. Pray, what do you think is his name?
Oh, his name, as if I knew not his name. I've brought him up ever since he was 3 years old. His name is Tranio.
Away, away, mad ass! His name is Lucentio, and he is mine only son and heir to the lands of Mead, Signor Vincentio.
Lucentio? Oh, he hath murdered his master. My son. My son. Tell me, thou villain, where is my son, Lucentio?
An officer, carry this mad knave to the jail. Father Baptista, I charge you, see that he be forthcoming.
Carry me to jail.
Take heed, Senor Baptista, lest you be conny catched in this business. I dare swear this is the right Vincentio.
Then you were best to say that I am not Lucentio.
Yes, I know thee to be Signor Lucentio.
Oh, yeah, we are spoiled. And yonder he is. Okay, deny him, forswear him, or else we are all undone.
Pardon, sweet father.
It's my sweet son.
Pardon, dear father.
How hast thou offended? Where is Lucentio?
Here is Lucentio, right son to the right Vincentio, that have by marriage made thy daughter mine, while counterfeits of supposes bleared thine eye.
Why, tell me, is not this my Cambio?
Cambio is changed into Lucentio.
Love wrought these miracles. Bianca's love made me exchange my state with Tranio, while he did bear my countenance in the town, and happily I have arrived at the last, unto the wished haven of my bliss. What Tranio did, myself enforced him to, then pardon him, sweet father, for my sake.
Have you married my daughter without asking my goodwill?
Fear not, Baptista, we will content you. Go to, but I will be revenged for this villainy.
And I to sound the depth of this knavery.
Look not pale, Bianca, thy father will not frown.
My cake is dough, but I'll in among the rest, out of hope of all but my share of the feast.
Husband, let's follow to see the end of this ado.
Kiss me, Kate, and then we will.
What, in the midst of the street?
What, art thou ashamed of me?
No, sir, God forbid, but ashamed to kiss.
Why then, let's home again. Come, Sarah, let's away.
Nay, I will give thee a kiss. Now, pray thee, love, stay.
Is this not well? My sweet Kate, better once than never, for never too late.
At last, though long, our jarring notes agree. And time it is when raging war is come to smile at scapes and perils overblown. My fair Bianca, bid my father welcome, while I with selfsame kindness welcome thine. Brother Petruchio, Sister Catherine, and thou Hortensio with thy loving widow. Feast with the best and welcome to my house. My banquet is to close our stomachs up after our great good cheer. Pray you sit down, for now we sit to chat as well as eat.
Nothing but sit and eat and eat.
Padua affords this kindness, son Petruchio.
Padua affords nothing but what is kind.
For both our sakes, I would that word were true.
And for my life, Hortensio fears his widow.
Then never trust me if I be afeard.
Oh, you are very sensible, and yet you missed my sense. I mean, Hortensio is afeard of you.
He that is giddy thinks the world turns round.
Roundly replied.
Mistress, how mean you that?
Thus I conceive by him.
What? Conceived by me? How likes Hortensio that?
My widow says thus she conceives her tale.
Very well mended. Kiss him for that, good widow.
He that is giddy thinks the world turns round. I pray you, tell me what you meant by that.
Your husband, being troubled with a shrew, measures my husband's sorrow by his woe. And now you know my meaning.
A very mean meaning.
Right. I mean you.
And I am mean indeed, respecting you.
To her, Kate.
To her widow?
100 marks. My Kate has put her down.
That's my office.
Go.
How likes Gremio these quick-witted folks?
Believe me, sir, they put together well.
Head and but a hasty-witted body would say your head and butt were head and horn.
Aye, Mistress Bride, hath that awakened you?
Aye, but not frightened me. Therefore I'll sleep again.
Nay, that you shall not, since you have begun. How about you for a better jest or two?
Am I your bird? I mean to shift my bush, and then pursue me as you draw your bow. You are welcome all.
Now, in good sadness, son Petruchio, I think thou hast the veriest shrew of all.
I say no. And therefore, sir, assurance. Let's each one send unto his wife, and he whose wife is most obedient to come at first when he doth send to her shall win the wager which we will propose.
Content, what's the wager?
20 crowns.
20 crowns. Oh, I'll venture so much upon my hawk or hound, but 20 times so much upon my wife.
100 then.
Content.
A match 'tis done.
Who shall begin?
Ah, that will I. Go, Biondello, bid your mistress come to me.
Son, I'll be your half. Bianca comes.
I'll have no halves. I'll bear it all myself.
Sir, my mistress sends you word that she is busy and she cannot come.
Sirrah Biondello, go and entreat my wife to come to me forthwith.
Oh, entreat her. Nay, then she must needs come.
I'm afraid, sir, do what you can. Yours will not be entreated. Now, where's my wife?
She says you have some goodly jest in hand. She will not come. She bids you come to her.
Oh!
Dear Grumio, go to your mistress. Say I command her, come to me.
I know her answer.
What?
She will not.
What is your will, sir, that you send for me?
Where's your sister and Hortensio's wife?
They sit conferring by the parlor fire.
Oh, away, I say, and bring them hither straight.
Here is a wonder, if you talk of a wonder.
And so it is. I wonder what it bodes.
Merry peace it bodes, and love, and quiet life, an awful rule, and right supremacy, and, to be short, what's not that's sweet and happy?
Now fair befall thee, good Petruchio. The wager thou hast won, and I will add unto their losses 20,000 crowns, another dowry to another daughter, for she is changed as she had never been.
Nay, I will win my wager, better yet, and show more sign of her obedience, her new built virtue and obedience. See where she comes, and brings your forward wives as prisoners to her womanly persuasion. Catherine, that cap of yours becomes you not. Off with that bauble, throw it underfoot.
Lord, let me never have a cause to sigh till I be brought to such a silly pass.
By what foolish duty call you this?
I would your duty were as foolish too. The wisdom of your duty, fair Bianca, hath cost me 100 crowns since supper time.
The more fool you for laying on my duty.
Catherine, I charge thee, tell these headstrong women what duty they do owe their lords and husbands.
Come, you're mocking. We will have no telling.
Come on, I say, and first begin with her.
Fie, unknit that threatening, unkind brow, and dart not scornful glances from those eyes to wound thy lord, thy king, thy governor. It blots thy beauty, as frosts do bite the meads, confounds thy fame as whirlwinds shake fair buds, and in no sense is meet or amiable. A woman moved is like a fountain troubled, muddy, ill-seeming, thick, bereft of beauty, and while it is so, none so dry or thirsty will deign to sip or touch one drop of it. Thy husband is thy Lord, thy life, thy keeper, thy head, thy sovereign, one that cares for thee and for thy maintenance, commits his body to painful labor both by sea and land, to watch the night in storms, the day in cold, whilst thou liest warmed at home, secure and safe, and craves no other tribute at thy hands but love, fair looks, and true obedience. Too little payment for so great a debt. Such duty as the subject owes the prince, even such a woman oweth to her husband. And when she is forward, peevish, sullen, sour, and not obedient to his honest will, what is she but a foul contending rebel and graceless traitor to her loving lord? I am ashamed that women are so simple, to offer war where they should kneel for peace, or seek for rule, supremacy, and sway, when they are bound to serve, love, and obey. Why are our bodies soft and weak and smooth, unapt to toil and trouble in the world, but that our soft conditions and our hearts should well agree with our external parts? Come, come, you forward and unable worms. My mind hath been as big as one of yours, my heart is great, my reason haply more to bandy word for word and frown for frown. But now I see our lances are but straws, our strength is weak, our weakness past compare, that seeming to be most, which indeed we least are. Then veil your stomachs, for it is no good, and place your hands below your husband's foot. In token of which duty, if he please, my hand is ready, may it do him ease.
Why, there's a wench. Come on and kiss me, Kate.
Well, go thy ways, old lad, for thou shalt have it.
Good hearing when children are toward.
But a harsh hearing when women are forward.
Kate, will to bed. We three are married, but you two are sped. 'Twas I won the wager, though you hit the white. And being a winner, God give you good night.
All right, cast. Woo! The penultimate right there. Bravo all for bringing us the tale. Thanks to everyone who has joined us, whether you are leagues away or just down the street in Shrewsbury. We are so glad you are here once more with us, and we're excited to chat about this one right here. So as always, we got 3 questions we're going to throw out there. Let's go and let's kick it off by asking the cast. What, if anything, did you learn, observe, carry with you, walk away from this play with that maybe you didn't have in your mind before today? Where my discoveries at?
I think it was Comedy of Errors, where at the talkback I said, "Oh, there's room for farce, like farce that has a comment in it," and I referenced this play as a play that I appreciated for that reason, and I would like to rescind that statement. I think after revisiting, when I was young, I enjoyed this play quite a bit. I thought it was very funny, and I thought there were there was a lot of opportunity for conversation about gender dynamics. And I think while the play engenders conversation, it is a very problematic piece of work when taken at face value.
Thanks, Alex. And if the stenog could strike that from the record, we'll go ahead and we'll clear that up. What else do we pick up on today?
Got a follow-up question on that, which is just what is the value of taking art at face value? To piggyback on the phrase you just used, Alex.
Are you directing that question to me, or is that open to the floor?
It's open for everyone. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it, and that might be now or later or whenever. But like that just popped in terms of the discovery today. Was hearing you just say that popped something for me.
It's always worth seeing what the points of view and mores of a different period and place were, just to gauge how far or how not so far we have come since then.
I haven't think of this play. One of the first things that comes into my head is like, I wonder how much money has been put into producing this play. Like in let's just say in like contemporary theater making, how much money has gone into putting up The Taming of the Shrew. And I think that is what makes me sad, because like there are other works that, if taken at face value, offer a more complex and I would argue honest and yeah, I guess less problematic. I hate the word problematic, but like less problematic view than this, where like every time I see this show, whoever has directed it or like the actors that are convincing me to come are saying, we fixed it. We finally fixed it. And I'm like, okay, but like there's so many shows that don't need fixing, and there is always a finite number of resources. And I think that's what makes me sad about this show at face value.
I think something I found myself thinking about the face is that it starts off with the framing device that we don't get on the back end. But I had a minute or two off the screen to take a look in the YouTubes, and seeing that framing device work its way into the audience just had me thinking so much about the fact that this is a play within a play, which I forget really quickly. And I don't totally know why it doesn't come on back in the text, and there's no like wake up moment at the end for Sly. But it's I was watching two different plays tonight, and that's not often the case. So that was something really fresh.
As someone who's always liked the interlude, the beginning bit that often gets cut, and I've always liked it because I've always thought there's parallels, but I really heard some of those parallels today of everything everyone's doing to Sly and what Sly is like as a person, to then what the issues and arguments and discussions that are then in the play afterwards. I heard that a lot clearer than I'd heard it before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, crew. Any other thoughts? Things that jumped out for us in a fresh way. And CP, whenever you're ready, jump on in. See what the YouTube folks were seeing today for the first time too.
I, for the first time, really paid attention to the Bianca storyline, because we always focus on Kate and what's going on with her, but we never really talk about Bianca, who says very little. And how everything is just happening around her. And there's this complete web of lies that's been created in order to have Bianca, without Bianca saying any of it, which I also find is really interesting between the two sisters, that the modest, quiet one, who we're all supposed to aspire to be, is equally treated as a piece of property as the hot-headed one who we're not supposed to want to be like.
Yeah, I agree. I was paying a lot more attention to that Bianca storyline, but also that despite that web of lies, it felt to me tonight in a way that I had never seen before that she does kind of get what she wants out of it. Like all that manipulation and objectification and commodification of her doesn't work in that case. And I thought that was so in strong contrast against Kate and Petruchio.
And she's manipulating the world around her as well, Bianca. She's fake crying. She's manipulating her father, an absolute dream. And I think that's why she ends up saying so little, is because she sort of she's letting everyone else hang themselves and sort of sailing on through underneath, possibly.
On the YouTubes here, we've got some things responding to what did I learn that I didn't know before. I think that's related to this, where I would say we got folks saying it's much harder to make a good production of a difficult play than a good production of a good play. Well done. Christopher Sly made this experience bearable. Otherwise, watching a woman's soul be hollowed out is not fun. And then, would it make the play less icky to include the ending from Taming of a Shrew, which is Sly waking up after sleeping outside the tavern all night, reminding us it's a play within a play. And last but not least, we have, you can't fix this play. That was a swear. I've been screaming that all year.
Well, let's zoom in closer. Were there lines, images, moments that jumped out to you as you heard them, saw them, performed them?
Oh yeah, Bianca's the more fool you for laying on my duty. I don't know, I've always missed that before, but she's like, yeah, you're the fool because I'm still my own woman. That was about the only time that I was like, oh, right. Oh, fascinating, Bianca. That.
To that point, and to the question that you pulled out from the YouTube, Joel, whether the Sly coming back at the end changes things, I like that. But there's a bit in Taming of a Shrew right before that happens where the Lucentio character says to the Bianca character, "Thou art a shrew." And the last line of the play within a play in Taming of a Shrew is Bianca responding, "That's better than a sheep." And I feel like that, to me, does a big shift in what the play says.
Yeah.
There was a line that jumped out tonight. I don't know if it was a choice, mistake. I'm gonna go and say it was a choice. I hope it was a choice. But Ella, in your delivery of "She is my horse, my ox, my ass, my everything," is what you said, and then went back and said "my anything," which is what is written, and that jumped out to me because I think that's my everything is. I think that is a path to making Petruchio a human.
A sweet little romantic version of a Freudian slip there.
Nice. Anything else from the cast or anything from our tubers over there?
I've got tubers when you're ready.
Take it away.
I've got a handful here. We've got Monty is the perfect Christopher Sly. Oh my God, the book, referring to the book that Kate was reading at the top. Grumio drinks Schlitz, which I say, thank you, yes, indeed, I agree. Jenny is killing me, which happened Biandello with the books. That was when that thought popped up. Catherine seethes, and I'm saying it just as that's written. Catherine seethes, and I'm here for it. We've got Alex is the Catherine we all need. We have, y'all did a great job with the gender swap, though. It's a train wreck without that. Got a few more. Alex's stare of death. And then in terms of particular lines, we have, I love women are made to bear exchange between Petruchio and Catherine. That's my favorite dialogue in this play. And I liked the understated comment by Baptista to Petruchio, "Be thou armed for some unhappy words." And then in terms of image, we have the image that stands out for me, watching the sudden shift to softness in Kate's voice and facial expression absolutely crushed me. That was the moment when I could see the death of her personhood.
Yeah, that's a lot there. Well, let's zoom back out. What do we think? If you find the play relevant, or if you do not today, why might that be? So why or why not do you think of this as a relevant play for us to perform today?
If I may, I was thinking about this a lot last night because we had some big discussions about it yesterday. And I think it's relevant for two reasons. The first reason is any piece of work that makes us have these constant conversations is important. I come to the understanding that I don't dislike this play, but I dislike what this play represents or presents. And that's the most important part of it. And I wonder, as performers or artists, whatever word you like to use, what our jobs are. I think we're here to entertain. I think we're here to educate, but I also think we're here to reflect the world as it is. And it's really important that we reflect things that we like, because somewhere in an audience is someone who needs to see it or needs to hear it. And it may be a small thing, but if that's enough to wake someone up or make them reassess the way they view things, I think then we have done our job.
Thanks, Tosh.
Just to completely add, just literally adding to what Tash said, I've always found this play incredibly relevant for the simple, since I've got to find out about it properly, simply because I do know, I've met people and I know people who've been in relationships like this or who are in relationships like this. So just that idea that it hasn't finished and that there is something to talk about. So exactly what Tash said, sometimes we need to reflect the stuff we don't like about the world to try and change it. So yes, Tash.
I think the difficulty with that is that there's like, absolutely that's what art is for, but it's when what the message of the play seems to be, as opposed to what the play is presenting for us. Do you know what I mean? So that's what I find difficult about this play, is that at the end, there's no sense that Petruchio is in the wrong for what he's done. In fact, he seems to be kind of the winner, and so that's where I would say, like, I agree with you guys on that point, but I still have problems with this particular play.
I actually have never either done or seen this gender swapped. And I didn't know how it would come across. Parts of it were a lot less funny to me with the gender swap. And I didn't think that that would be the case. And it made the play feel very Brechtian to me for that reason, like seeing something in a new way. So, and I completely piggyback in agreement on that I do think it's important to see things that are difficult about the culture that you live in, the world that you live in.
We're having discussions here in the States and in Europe too about art that serves an evil purpose, all the Confederate statues and statues of slave owners. And I think that the same issue is alive in this play, that without any context, it shouldn't be displayed. If you have a statue of Robert E. Lee, there needs to be some discussion of his role, his place in history. And so I think it's very important if you're going to have this play presented that you give it a context with this kind of discussion available to the audience to give it, to place it in its proper place.
Joel, along those lines, I thought it was so fascinating to watch Monty kind of serve as this vehicle of context via the YouTube chat as well. The seeing someone experience this play, and as much as it's like tongue in cheek and it's, we're putting it on, but someone asking questions, be like, wait, why are they doing that? Wait, hold on, where's Bianca? Suddenly there were all of these invitations for people to point out and be like, no, well, here's why it's screwed up. Well, here's what's going on. And there was this, like, it felt like when you're like watching a demonstrative video in the classroom, and it's like, maybe it could play out this way. And you have this kind of like educational role play, and seeing it modeled of, okay, sitting and watching something with somebody and then addressing, the gaps that they notice or the things that they're pointing out and speaking to it. It didn't feel so much like the criticism existed in a vacuum. There was a direction for it. And that's, I don't think that's something we experience often in the theater, because you like pray that people aren't leaning over and explaining like the deeper resonances to the person sitting next to them while you're talking. But it was really fascinating that this medium afforded that, and that there wasn't just context waiting at the end, but like from the start, it was built in. You met this person, then they showed up and they read it with you, and now we're here at the end. I think it's relevant in that we have a mode in order for modeling that I've never seen play out before.
I'll hop in really quickly just to say that something that's really important right now is having hard conversations and having conversations that we need to have. And words are important. And this was not a gender swapped Taming of the Shrew. We were playing with things, different gender, but it was not swapped.
Yeah, CP, any more thoughts from the cast, or any more thoughts from our pals over in the YouTube?
I can't speak to universal relevance, or whether I think it's as we discovered yesterday, it's sort of a moot point. Is like, do you like the play? Do you not like the play? I don't care to speak to that. I will say that as an individual, my experience in the last 48 hours has given me renewed empathy for what it is to exist as a woman in a male-dominated world. Because though I've been in a relationship where gaslighting was quite a large portion of it, I've never, because I am a man and it is my privilege, I've never been in a relationship and gaslit like that and then had the whole society be like, yeah, that person's probably right though. Like, the thing that you want is wrong. As a man, I was always able to be like, I mean, I don't know, she kind of fucked up though. And people were like, yeah, no, that's wrong. She's manipulating. But to sit here as a strong, independent thinking person playing a role in which it is a strong, independent thinking person, and I don't say man or woman, I say person, and then have the whole world, have an individual be like, nah, fuck the things that you want. This is how this is going to go. And for the strong, independent person to be like, you're bullshitting me. And then everyone else to be like, just do what he says. Just do it. Just thing. It was infuriating. And like the stare of death wasn't really a character choice so much as a personal me sitting here trying not to break my computer because we were reading this play. And like that taught me something.
And like on the flip, oh, go ahead.
We've done a number of plays where the genders were, not to say swapped, but different. We had men playing women's parts and the other way around. And I never felt that it made such a big difference. But in this play, changing the genders of the actors playing the parts, I think had a huge impact on how it came across. And I kept thinking, well, back in the 16th century, they were all men anyway, playing all the parts. And so maybe the humor was more able to come out. And now when we're actually playing women on stage and then swapping parts, it gave it a completely different context. And when I heard Alex say some of Kate's lines, they sounded so completely different from when I've seen a female actor say them. So I just think it had a huge impact on how this play comes across the gender of the actor saying the lines.
And I think
Maybe that's me.
Oh, sorry, Kathy. Did I step on you? I'm so sorry. Go ahead. I was gonna yes and to you and just say that I think something personally I know and I believe to be true that we've really strived to do is to explore ideas throughout this process. And gender is an idea. And we've been exploring what does the essence of this human being in this role mean.
Yeah.
And I think that really shone tonight. And I have a cat attacking me. And I think it has done the same throughout many pieces, but I think with such a particularly troubling piece that has historically held so much angst in regard to like gender relations, standardized gender relations, I think it served us very well to say, fuck gender, and let's put the people in who are gonna tell this story the best way that we possibly can.
Well, I think it leaves you asking as well, what happens when a human has power and they wield it in their relationship with another human? And so it's we're listening as like, if I see a person speaking to another person like that, and yes, you'd be like you say, like, no, we got to strip it down. Their words, like it's person one talking to person two, and what is person one leveraging that person two doesn't have to leverage back, and what are the other constructs that are creating this misbalance of power? And so, yeah, we have to read the play beyond gender as well. And I think so many of these plays, like, when you pull them out, like they're stories of power. And what are the things that are in place, and how is it that, we've talked also about race and class and age and all of these other elements that people are leveraging against each other. And how do we show up to talk about that and to be critical in those stories?
And Joel, to that point, something that always sticks out to me in this play is Hortensio at Petruchio's. He's there, clearly disturbed by what's happening to Kate, but doesn't take action. And I feel like, if nothing else, that makes this play super relevant right now.
Yeah, I feel like playing Petruchio is a really interesting perspective because he is a person who is absorbed by his privilege and like I think like understands, like fully understands the privilege that he carries through his life and wields it like a weapon. Which is a very different story than a lot of other, I think, imbalanced power structures that we've seen in Shakespeare's other works, where it's like, oh, I don't know, like that's just the way it was, and I didn't really like purposefully try to affect it. But Petruchio being a person, at one point he says like the right supremacy, which you really have to enunciate with that. Like he knows that he is playing a stacked hand. Like he knows that what he has and what he was born with is like, it is fueling his ability to take what he wants and to be cruel. And like anybody can be absorbed with their privilege. Anybody. There's like a lot of issues like with the white queer community of like people who think like, oh, we fought a battle and like we're all okay now, so like we don't need to worry about intersectionality. Anybody can truly be absorbed by their privilege, and I think Petruchio is a really excellent example of that. And also like a scary place to be as a person who's like, I hope I have never been that cruel in my life, but I also know that with the benefits that my privilege has afforded me my entire life, like I am an actor in cruel games and in cruel power structures.
Or even how our power structures use each other to keep the status quo. And that's exactly what happens at the end. That whole monologue, Kate's literally saying, this is how you should be. It's upholding the very structure that, and I think that indoctrination, that sort of like, I guess what I meant to say is that there's a lot of things that are like, this is how it should be. And if you are not this, you are outside we are going to punish you for being that, whatever that is, whatever it means. And to a certain extent, we're all indoctrinated in a certain way and trying to, we're all muddying through the water of like, how do you really help dismantle something that's so ingrained? There are still a lot of times where I literally am that emoji that's like, I don't know, like the I don't know emoji is like me every other day. I'm like, I keep asking these questions and sometimes I really think I have some answers. And most of the time I'm like, I know nothing.
Yep. Well, speaking of questions, CP, are there any questions floating our way from our friends?
Unmuting is helpful when responding, CP. Cool. We've got some responses about everything that's been discussed thus far, and they are as follows. In regards to, is this play relevant, yes or no? Comments about, yes, we need to use it as a way to start conversations now. We've got, yes, Tom, yes, about Tom's comments in that regard. And people saying great points about the need for context and discussion. We have another comment that says, how broken is Kate at the end? Is Petruchio crowning for victory or shocked at what he has done? In regards to the framing device of Christopher Sly, we have a comment that says, yes, I appreciate so much that Monty was the non-toxic Greek chorus. We need that. And then a comment, which I think is a lovely wrap up and a potential segue, depending on if there are more questions or not. Love these discussions, y'all. Looking forward to hearing more of them in the pub.
That sounds like a segue if I ever heard one. So, fam, how lucky are we that the lights don't go up and we don't have folks just being like, get out, as they sweep up programs. But instead, we get ushered into this space and then we get ushered into another space. And what? Do you want to be ushered into that space? Guess what? Throw dollars at Patreon if you want to go join us. And thanks to everyone who's been hanging out with us there. We're gonna miss you like crazy. And if you haven't gotten the chance to do that, come join us you've got today and then you've got Friday again to jump on in, at least during the happy hours universe. As we always try to say, thank you as well for the folks who are having discussions bigger than this play and are looking around and saying, what is my privilege? What can I do? Where do I need to show up? And for those who are using words and having those tough conversations or putting money, really using what you have to get out there and move something. Thank you for that. Thank you so much for that. And we're really grateful that maybe this is part of that bigger work too that you're going to carry with you. We love you, and we hope that you'll come back for the ultimate. I can't say too much. I'm going to get all CP over here, but I can't wait for Friday and see what's going to come out of it. I think we might have a lot to talk about after that one too, because we should always have a lot to talk about. So come on back to Gentlemen of Verona. Is going to lead us across the finish line. And we look forward to seeing you in the pub and there and everywhere. Love you so much.